This could be the episode everyone's been waiting for, Glenn. Me and you back at it. It could be, it could not be, but me and you back at it. These have been some of the most viewed or most downloaded episodes when it's just me and you shooting the shit, as they say in America.
These are my favourite ones to do as well, because we just go on it.
So with this podcast, we've not been doing it consistently because I've mentioned this before about how busy we've been, and it's just, you know, life gets on top, and this is like a hobby, so we concentrate more on business always than doing things for fun. So now it's a Sunday, we're sitting on my rooftop in Santa Monica, Glenn's kids downstairs, my 3 kids are downstairs with the missus, so we've got a little bit of time, so it's like, oh well, let's squeeze this podcast in.
Yeah.
And you know what we do as well, because we're travelling around the world, we're doing all sorts of crazy stuff, great stuff, and we write notes down in our phones when we've got like a good topic. Just like we were in Miami last weekend, and we were at a bar, and I was like, this would be great to talk about in the podcast. Let's not talk about it now, we'll hold on the podcast. So we've got a ton of notes on my notes app to talk about, so I don't know where to start. So when
was even the last time me and you just did a podcast without a guest, or without you just been doing it by yourself?
I've done a few by myself, but it was probably August last year or something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But yeah, now we're back, and I've got no idea where to start this one.
Well, let's start with the fact that you've been living in Las Vegas in a suite at the Wynn Hotel, getting paid every single day by a certain Robbie Williams to just live in that suite for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I was away. I was there for 17 nights in the Wynn Las Vegas. I've been training. I mean, it's pretty public now to see. I've been putting on Instagram. He's been putting on his vlog. Been training Robbie Williams since January, and it's been going really well. And then they wanted to fly me out there. He's done a residency in the Wynn Hotel, which, by the way, was amazing.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to come up there and train him and the team all together.
Out of all the hotels that you could, even if you could pick, I'd probably pick the Wynn.
Yeah, pick Wynn or the Encore, like the best hotels in Vegas. So we stopped there. It went really well, and it was great to work with him, and great to see what he does. I know you've seen it before with artists, what they do backstage, and the build up to a show, and it was really good and really fascinating and a great experience for us.
Well, just to rewind, before the Vegas thing, you've been training him for a few weeks now, you know, going to his house in Beverly Hills, which we've seen now through his vlogs and all that kind of stuff is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just talk about that experience, like how's it been? Because I've jumped in on a couple of sessions with you and seen what they're all like. They're all really nice lads and all that, but let's just give people a bit of an idea of like what kind of stuff they're doing and what they're like and all that.
It's been class. It really has. You know, and I mentioned on the podcast a while ago when I did by myself, I might be training someone who's high profile, and it was Robbie. So yeah, I've been going to his house, me and Josh Hackford, and then you've been coming now and then and training them, getting them in shape, getting them fit, and it's been really, really good. And he's a proper fella, you know, a proper down to earth fella, and him and his team. And I really think that, I was just thinking about this earlier on, because I was out with his manager Michael the weekend, and I'm making some really good friends, not just with Robbie, but with his manager, his camera guy, the security, everyone around him. They're all good people. So
it's interesting you mentioned that, just a sidetrack for a minute, about how you've become friends with them, because when we go out and do these academies and I talk about building relationships with people and how to make the most out of your clientele, it's weird now, because I think like the more higher profile people that I work with, they require a lot of trust to bring you into their world or their circle or whatever. So the minute they trust you to start training them and then train them on a regular basis, it's almost like they see you as a friend once you built that relationship with them. It's not like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but like average people who don't have fame or celebrity stuff. It's just like they're just used to seeing you every day or whatever. But once you've become in that circle and in that world with someone, they kind of become friends with you, and I've found that myself a lot.
But even though, I don't know you're the same, but even though with clients who's not high profile or celebrities, like, I mean, I've worked with very few, but the people I work with is become my friends, and you know, someone who I would go out with and have a drink or a coffee or whatever, and it just makes our job even better. When, I mean, you've trained people before, I've trained people before, there's nothing worse than training someone who you don't want to train, who you don't want to be there, who you can't have a laugh with.
In the beginning, you have to just to get what you want, but over time, like you attract what you are, and you do just develop like friendships more than anything. You build relationships, you can develop friendships, and that's what makes the job fun. And it's just like spend time with people you like, really.
Yeah, and it's class. Like I say, I've made some real good friends now with Robbie and his team, and hopefully it's going to continue. I know he's out in June again, doing another residency. What's sold out? It's mad. You know what's mad, right? So obviously, I've heard of Robbie Williams. He's been huge, been around since forever.
Yeah.
And
I'd say probably top 5 pop stars in English music.
Yeah. I mean, you're into music. I'm not into music like you're into music, and I didn't realise how many hits he's done since. Like you know.
He's huge.
I was watching a video on YouTube the other week, and then it comes up things that you may like. I'm watching these vlogs, what he puts on YouTube, and then one of his songs comes like, "No way, Robbie done this." And then another one, and then I start looking at his songs, I'm like, God, he's done some.
Yeah, you forget how many songs of his are just absolutely huge. And doesn't he? I think he sells the record for the fastest selling tour ever. Like was it Germany or something? They announced the date and it sold out.
It was ridiculous.
Like over 1 million tickets in like 60 seconds or something.
It was something. I remember his tour. I can't remember the exact number he tour was at, and I was like, wow, this is unbelievable.
Madness.
Then he's won loads of Brit Awards and all that. It's good, and his sound, you know, he's proper sound, and we have a laugh together. But yeah, so that was the Vegas trip, and Vegas was class, you know.
Yeah.
I was worried about going to Vegas for so long, because we go for weekends and we have a great time.
Yeah.
I went to New York when I was done the Blacklist a couple of years ago, and I was there for a week, and now I cannot stand New York.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope it doesn't happen in Vegas. For never.
Yeah.
Vegas is so class.
I always say like, after like 3 or 4 days in Vegas, I'm like, right, that's enough now. I need to get out, you know, and get back home. So like same sort of thing. I was thinking, shit, I could be there for 3 weeks. But
when you're there in the wind and you're living there, and then as well having so much fun, and then I watched Robbie perform. Like I think just about every single. Well, I watch him every single show every single time he performed. I was there, and it was class. Yeah. And I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah, that's good.
It was really good, and so he's going back in June. So hopefully I'll be going back there with them as well. And I've been in Vegas. You've been to Australia training, doing the same sort of thing with a band with Goldfinger.
Yeah, that was madness.
Glenn, the fucking rock star. If you've seen his Instagram on stage, but you know what? So you done it about, was it 8 months ago, a year ago, when you're on stage and you're singing the 99 red balloons, right? And so he's singing. That was the first time when you had a
good voice.
You had a bit of an attitude then when you were singing it. But this time. This time, go to Glenn's Instagram and see how hard he thinks he is.
I just love it, me. I just like something just takes over, because they bring me out for that part. Like I went out there to obviously I'm training them every day, and like they rely on me for training and all that stuff. But same as you, I was like watching them every night, go to the venues with them every night. I'd warm the drummer up, do a good long warm up with him, and then they play the show, and then that's their last song. It's a cover song, but that's the last song. They bring me out to sing that German bit, and then I just dive in the crowd at the end. And it just started last year. They brought me out for that bit, and then now every time that I'm with them or they play and I'm there, he's like, "Are you doing it? Are you doing it?" And then on tour, I just did it every night. So they had a video guy with him who was an amazing video guy, and that show he was filming like everything really close and all that. I was like, right, get me tonight on my part, just film me for a little bit.
Oh, you said that? No?
Yeah, I was like, just make sure you get my bit. So he did, and I watched because he was there filming it, I knew how epic it was going to look. I just went like extra effort.
I know that I go to Glenn's Instagram and check it out.
The thing is, like, it's a massive adrenaline rush, right? When that part's coming up, and that show that they filmed, I think it was probably 2,000 or 3,000 people at that venue. It was packed, it was big, and you just like buzzing, you know, you just run on. Yeah. Like adrenaline's through the roof, so it's just I just take over. I don't know, I love it.
That's class. And you were there for like 10 days, was it?
Yeah, I think 12 altogether, and then we flew from every city. So I've done Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, like the whole country.
Did you fly private or not?
No, they were just internal flights.
When you were 21 pilots.
Yeah, those were private. Yeah. These were just like regular internal
Yeah,
flights.
that private stuff's next level, isn't it?
Yeah. Once you've flown private and flown first class and had a bed on a plane, it's like you can't do the regular shit anymore.
I remember when
It's tough.
when Brendan was fighting, I was in his corner, and he fought in Canada. I think it was Travis Brown, it might be his last fight, and no, it was Andrei Arlovsky, and we flew back with Tim Tebow's brother, and Brendan and me, 4 of us in a private jet. And I'd never done it before. I mean, I've only done it once since, which was with Robbie the other week. And we got picked up from the Tim Tebow's hotel. Tim Tebow's an American footballer. I don't know if he still plays or not. I don't know what he does now.
He turned to baseball. He started doing baseball, didn't he?
But he's very well known over here. And we got in like a big, massive SUV black car, pulled up on the runway, got out the car. Our feet got out the car onto a red carpet. Walked onto the plane. Showed the driver, the pilot, sorry, our passport, and got on the plane, and then up, and it was like amazing.
Yeah, that's what I had when I was out with 21 Pilots. Same thing. We just be in the the van thing, and then pull onto the runway.
Yeah.
Just walk straight on.
Yeah,
and everyone's like taking your bags for you and all that. Just next level.
Next level.
Yeah.
Very good. So yeah, kind of spoiled you. And then when you go into these, I mean, guess now because we travel a lot now with the academy, we've got this thing called Clear where we'll get straight through the security line, and it's big help.
Yeah,
you know?
it's amazing.
So when I was in Vegas, I flew from Vegas to Miami, and I thought I'd do the red-eye flight. The red-eye flight means like the overnight flight. So I changed the flight, but when I changed the flight, I never realised that I changed the flight because I was supposed to be flying from Los Angeles to Miami. So I thought I'd fly from Vegas straight to Miami. But what I didn't realise when I'd done the flight change, that the flight actually had a change. So I had to fly to Atlanta and then to Miami.
There was a stop,
at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I'm out. So oh shit. So because we fly so much, we get free upgrades. And if there's a spare seat on the plane, a first class seat, we get that. So I thought, no one's going to be flying to Miami from Vegas on a Thursday night. I'm definitely going to get this upgrade, right? So I didn't get the upgrade, and I'm sat next to the fattest man in the world.
Yeah.
And like we got the armrests that come down here, right?
Yeah.
I was sat in the middle as well. My armrest wouldn't come down because he was too big on my side of the plane. And I was like, this has got to be a laugh, mate. I've got to be a... And then, because he was that big, he could just sleep, like, when your head nods off.
Yeah.
But your chin's that big. He's just there, and he's just kept. And
them like head pillows that go around the back of your neck. He's just got a natural one.
Yeah.
Just got one there.
That's what it was like, and he smelt as well. He had a bad smell. I swear he was farting all the time. And and the woman come and she went, you come round with a snack tray. Do you want a snack? So I was like, look, I'll get the banana. Mate, he got 6 chocolate biscuits. Just hand it in,
just a massive clod.
And he just sat there eating the chocolate biscuits, and there was crumbs all down him and all that. So that
was worst.
That was on my flight on the way to Miami.
Speaking of that stuff, if you were on the, did you post it on the feed or on the story
I posted on the story.
Yeah, you've probably seen it coming back. I had exactly the same thing.
Coming off from Miami, Glenn sat next to a giant, and Glenn was in the middle. This guy must have been about 7 foot tall, 400 pound. He was the biggest man I've ever seen in my life.
And what did he do the whole flight? Just play that stupid video game where he's just shooting spaceships with one finger, just going.
So what made me laugh was this guy was playing video games on his phone on the way back. Glenn took a video of him, right, like sneaky little video of him doing things. And then when we got off the plane, Glenn was like, look at this, Tony. Look how childish this guy is here. Proper childish, playing video games. I went, he is, but you're pretty childish as well by videoing the guy. And then show me and making fun of it. That was from in Miami. So we just done a boxing. Go on, you.
I was saying, honestly, like, how do people sit there for 4 hours doing nothing productive like that? Like just playing a video game for 4 hours, doing nothing.
That's mad.
Like, what a waste of time. Like, do you not have anything to do at all?
But then it comes down to happiness. It's like, what's the end goal? The end goal is to be happy.
Yeah.
We happy sitting on a plane writing a blog or creating a new course or doing whatever we do all the time.
Yeah.
he's happy playing on his video game.
Yeah.
You know? So he's winning.
He's probably got a job that he doesn't have to think about when he's flying.
Right.
He probably doesn't have to think about his job until Monday or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we do.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But so yeah, we've just been to Miami doing the Boxing Gun Academy level 1, level 2, first course of the year. So good. It's great to meet all the new people.
Yeah.
All these new people coming part of the family. I like to call it like family, because I feel like when you've done the course with someone, you've spent a full weekend with them, getting close to them. Like it's like I don't know. I feel like very close to them. It's like I mean, it's same but different.
Building relationships with people, aren't we?
Yeah, like I've always got a relationship with every cornerman that's ever been in the corner for us.
Yeah.
I feel like it's same but different. Like I feel like now we've done that and we've went through it all.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a relationship with these people.
We want to help them moving forward as well.
So we went. It was funny. We went into the Miami gym, and for the first time, it was like there was a trainer there. He was training some athlete, and it looked pretty good what he was doing. But
he was training an NFL guy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So I you know what I'm going to say now. So after he was training him, I went, "Oh, by the way, mate, I'm Tony. Nice to meet you. I like what you were doing with your athlete there, mate." Worst thing I could have said. He had me and Glenn there for 25 minutes. You were in and out the conversation, but I was locked in.
I was trying to just slowly drift away.
In and out like Glenn was in and out. 25 minutes talking about training methods, about how his method is better than this method, and most trainers do this. You should do this.
Yeah, we had his entire history of everyone that's ever coached him, and which trainers he's worked with, and athletes that he's worked with. We got his life story,
his injuries, his athletes' injuries, his athletes' friends, mothers, fucking sisters, dogs' injuries. We got it all, and I was burnt out because I'd done the like I say, the red-eye flight overnight. I got no sleep because I'm sat next to this big fella. And now I'm there listening to this fella in the gym talking about his life, and I'm like, oh my god,
this
is
the worst.
It's like, let me give someone a piece of advice, right? If someone says to you, "How's it going, mate?" Just say, "All right, mate. How you doing?" All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
If someone says, "How's it going, mate?" and you say, "Well, you know, it's not going that well because this, mate, I don't want to speak ever again."
Yeah, you're right. Keep it under, like, there's a rule of thumb, like, try and keep it under, like, 10 words.
Yeah.
And under 30 seconds.
By all means, I'm not saying let's not have a conversation. I'm just saying, how's it going? Just say, all right, how's it going? All right.
But that's the thing, we do want a conversation, but, like, let's not have a fucking monologue for 20 minutes about your life story.
Yeah, but not off the first question.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question, you ask me a question, I ask you a question, you ask me a question.
Yeah.
And then we can start to see where the conversation's going. Not just, all right, mate, how's it going? You know, that's, in other words.
Do you get that with Uber drivers as well, though, don't you?
Mate.
It's the worst.
Oh, don't get me started on Uber drivers.
Yeah. And how many times you give that hint, like you're like on your phone, and they'll look round and tell you a question, ask you a question, yeah. And you look back down at your phone deliberately, like you might not even be doing anything on your phone, but you do it on purpose to try and make the point, like, shut up.
Right.
Or like the quiet way of saying, shut up, I'm busy, leave me alone. And it just doesn't sink in, and they just keep going and going.
So I was in, where was I? Anaheim a week before I went to Vegas with the kids. We went to Disneyland, and and the kids were with the nana and granddad of the night, and me and my wife went out, and we got an Uber, and Sarah made the mistake, and Jimmy, Mrs. made the mistake, got an Uber. How's it going, Sam, mate, you good? Yeah, I'm good. The guy, so where you from?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing, innit?
I think we're at a disadvantage because people
the accent?
I think people who are from here or American just be like, most of the time they'll be like, yeah, good.
Yeah.
But because of your accent, they're like, oh, where are you from? They got England, and then it just goes and goes.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I don't know where you're going.
So Sarah was like, oh, we from here, where are you from? Well, I'm from all right, nice. And I moved here in this. And maybe we found out about this fella's mum's illness and where he was, everything. And I'm like, right, so it's hard for us to spend time with misses, I'm in the Uber for 15 minutes, listen to this fucker's life story, and I do not give a shit. Like, I want to spend time with her.
Yeah.
I want to talk to her, but she's asking them questions. I go to the car with Sarah. Listen, I think I text you.
Yeah.
Sarah's just made the mistake of asking the Uber driver a question. You know, and just last night, wasn't it, 2 nights ago, my little sister's here, 22-year-old from Sunderland, visiting. I took her to a comedy store, and we went to Hollywood, and it was a 45-minute drive because the traffic went at 6 o'clock. She done the same thing. She done the same. So now for 45 minutes, my little sister, I've never spent much time with her. I'm listening to this Uber driver's life story.
Yeah.
It's
like
exhausting.
You know, the worst is when they do bring up things like serious illnesses and deaths and every shit like that.
Negative stuff.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I don't want to be a dick here, but I don't care. But it's like you feel bad for saying you're feeling like you don't care because they're telling you like deep shit. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to be a dick and not act like you don't give a shit, but like in the back of your head you're thinking, don't give a shit, but like because he's telling me every stuff, I should act like I do give a shit.
So about a month ago now, I was in an Uber coming from the Brentwood gym to the Santa Monica gym. I left my car home for whatever reason, or I think I'd been to Robbie's and I Ubered there, or I can't remember. But I was getting an Uber and I was on the phone to Kevin, and I got in the Uber. It was raining outside, and the Uber driver, it's raining outside. The Uber driver's got a vest on, a tank top on, a pair of shorts. And he's got the heating up full belt, and I'm wearing like a coat and that because it's raining outside, so I'm sweating and I'm on the phone, and I open the window, but the rain comes through, so I close the window and I'm talking to Kevin, and I open the window again because I'm getting too hot, and I close the window, and the Uber driver, this black guy with a big afro, pulled over, and he went, "Get out of my car." I went, "Wait there, Kev, what'd you say, mate?" He went, "Get out of my car." I went, "Why?" He went, "I heard you say something under your breath." I went, "Is this something?" I went, "Kev, wait there, what do you mean?" He said, "You said something racist under your breath." I went, "Yeah, I'm on the phone, I never." He went, "You stop playing with me when they get out of the car, I've got the right to refuse you." I went, "Are you having, Kev, wait there, see you later, mate. Are you having a fucking laugh? Are you having a laugh? It's pissing down what you're talking about. I've never said a thing." "You did, you said something under your breath. You said something racist." I went, "Mate, I'm on the phone." I said, "You've got issues, you've got serious issues. You're a paranoid motherfucker. I didn't say motherfucker, I said you're a paranoid bastard." He went, "No, get out of my car, get out of my car." I'm getting angry because it's like I never said anything. He's obviously paranoid. I'm on the phone to Kev, and now I'm getting kicked out of the car in the middle of Los Angeles with pissing down the rain.
Did he leave you a negative review?
No, I didn't get charged for the thing. I couldn't find him because I wanted to complain to him to lift. Yeah, but I couldn't do it.
I've been kicked out of an Uber before. It wasn't for being racist, it was for farting.
You got kicked out for farting?
I never farted. I was with Stephen Kane, one of the boxing ground trainers. This was a while ago. This was a while ago. It was a couple of years ago actually. We were on a night out and got in an Uber in Venice, going up to Santa Monica, and we got in and Steve just farted. And
loud?
Yeah, pretty loud. And I started laughing, and then the guy just pulled in. He went, "You need to get out of my Uber." And we were like, "For what?" And he went, "For being disrespectful. That's disgusting. Get out." I'm like, I just started laughing my head off.
Were you drunk?
I did a little bit, but I didn't even like question it again. Like, I wasn't like, "Oh, you can't kick us out." I found it so funny that he got offended by it. I just started laughing and just got out.
Now, you were drunk. What? Are you sure it wasn't a cupcake in his face? Are you sure it wasn't?
Steve took offence to it. He was like, "You can't fucking kick me out," and all this. Kind of like what you were saying, you got like, but I just thought it was hilarious. Just got out there, got kicked out for farting. So you got kicked out for being racist, and Steve's been kicked out for farting.
It's mad, mate. It's mad. Yeah. So then I wait for another one. It took like 15 minutes to come, and I got soaked wet.
He probably just didn't understand your accent. Thought you said something, and was like, "Right, I'm not having a minute."
Right. Another Uber. When I was in Vegas just there, I was out with the comedian Mark. What's his name? He just played on comedy right? So with this comedian, and I was out with Robbie's video guy Leo, and we got it in an Uber, and we got a bottle of champagne before we got in. Poured it in a cup each. So I had a cup. Gets in the car, gets in the front, then took it in the back, and there's a fella there. Like the driver, he looks odd. Got a bit of a boxer's nose. bit of a box, and it might just been a fucking big nose. And so it gets in. I was going, mate, don't spill that drink on my bag.
Oh, no.
I was like, I'll not, mate, I'm sound. And we were driving. I went, me, you're like a fighter. I went, were you a fighter? He went, yes. I went, alright. I went, what did you do? Like, he went, martial arts. I went, alright then, which martial art? And he looked and went, just don't spill that drink on my bag. I was like, oh my god. It's a good job I wasn't with you.
I know.
and I'm there for work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking, you fucking arsehole, mate. If someone told you like to fight that, I think that's a bit of a compliment for a gadget, isn't it?
So he just didn't give you anything. He just kept going.
I didn't get kicked out of that one. Luckily, I learnt my lesson from the last one. You know. Yeah. So yeah, Miami was a great trip, a real good trip, and we've got our next trip is in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, Austin, Texas, coming up back to the On It gym. Looking forward to getting back out there.
One thing about Miami, another funny thing about Miami is Glenn got there the day before me, and I was still in Vegas on the night. I think I was actually driving to the airport, gets a FaceTime off Glenn. Just to give you an idea, it was what 12:30 midnight in Miami, so it would have been about 9-10 o'clock where you were. Yeah.
FaceTime
me. Tony, you booked this hotel. Was it under your name or what? They're not letting me do it. I went, yeah, it's under my name. Sound. It's under his name, and he's got on FaceTime like any other one. Well, it's under his name. You need to send this ID. You need to have this. He went, look, he's on the phone now. Can you just sort it out? And she was being a really arsehole.
Probably the weirdest person I've ever met. Just the most unreasonable person I've ever met in my life. Just mind blowing.
So she was unreasonable. So she wanted to have me to send my ID to Glenn, but this time Glenn's been travelling all day, right? And as well, Glenn's been travelling to Australia around Australia with Goldfinger, going in 5-star hotels, pulling up everything done, bags tucked in, limousines, the lot. So now he gets to a hotel, and the first woman gives him a little bit of attitude. So now Glenn thinks he's odd, thinks he's a celebrity, thinks
know your role.
Yeah, know your role.
No, it wasn't even any of that shit. Like, but
a little bit.
I don't know. Like, I think you do get used to things being smooth and whatever. But like checking into an hotel should not be an issue.
No.
But it was just like a Best Western or whatever. We were just checking in, and she goes, it was even on my Expedia app because you shared the booking with me, so I had it on my app, and she just wasn't having it at all. And then the next thing, she's looking away on the phone with a can of Coke in her hand, going, "You need to get out of this hotel." And I was like, "Wow!" So I hit audio record on my phone. I was like, "Right, she's getting heavy. I'm going to get some evidence here." So I just started audio recording it, and I just kept calm as fuck because that's good for you to keep calm because you know you're being recorded. Yeah. So it keeps me in check.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea for anyone listening.
Yeah. So I hit audio record. I thought, right, I've got to set the example now. So I was like, alright, I'm sorry, I just want to get into my room, like I'm trying to be nice and polite. And then the next thing she does, she goes, she gets on the phone, she goes, I need police, I've got an abusive, harassing customer here who won't leave the hotel. I was like, oh fuck. So I was like, look, I went, put the phone down, there's no need to be like that. It's all on audio. And then she goes, she hangs up, and I go, look, I'll just book a separate room right now. So then I booked another room on Expedia, but it declined my card because I was out of state. So I'm like, shit. So then the next thing I'm thinking, right, she's sent for a police car to get me out of here, so I thought I'll just leave. So I just turn around, I've got 2 massive bags with me because we carry these huge academy bags with all boxing gloves in and all that shit. I ordered another Uber, I've got about 2% left on my phone. I get in this next Uber, and he doesn't have an iPhone charger and he doesn't speak English. So I went, mate, just start driving somewhere, I'll look for a hotel on here and I'll let you know where I decide. So I start driving aimlessly in this Uber, right? I left this hotel behind and the crazy woman behind. And I'm looking through Expedia for hotels, and it's just full, no resident, no room. I'm like, shit. Found one at the top, like some inn, some like little motel. I was like, alright, sound, book that. Your room is reserved. I'm like, alright, pay for when you get there, right? It's like 10-minute drive, so they rerouted the Uber to this motel. Get there. I've been driving for a while. There's no one around. Bars on the windows. There's like five big black dudes outside the motel, like gangsters, pulling. It's like, I'm just like, you know, like them little motels where the roofs are like your height.
Yeah, I can't even believe you.
Yeah. We pulled in. I went, mate, I'm not staying here. We're gonna have to go somewhere else. He's like, alright, well, where do you want to go? This time it's like 1%.
Oh,
that feeling you get when you're on 1%.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know where I am. I don't have an hotel room. I'm in the middle of Miami, which is a city I've never really spent any time in. I'm like, shit.
It's been 1 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah, it was about 1 o'clock. I think you'd already set off flying, so I couldn't really communicate with anyone. I was like, shit. So I went, just keep driving, mate. Keep going. We'll find somewhere else. So I googled like Marriott, like the nearest Marriott, and it was like 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Ended up driving 45 minutes to get to the Marriott. Got there, finally got in. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, right, can I just get one room for one night? She's like, yep. Gave her my card. Phone had died at this point.
Oh.
And then she goes, all right, this card's declined. I'm like, shit. So then I had to charge the phone up at the reception, wait for it to come back on, call my bank, get the card cleared for out of state, then pay and then get in. So I finally got into the room at like 2:30.
Yeah.
Like the worst way to start a trip, but everything after that was spot on. It was a great time.
It was class.
If you ever go to Miami, check out the One Hotel. Like just do it. It's like
The One?
The One Hotel. That one that we went for drinks at upstairs.
Which one? Was that too good?
You might.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one. Right, yeah.
Yeah. Next level.
Yeah. Another thing I remember talking about the flying over to Miami was, and I mentioned it to you a little bit. So we're flying there, and I'm looking on my computer, and there's one of my old fights there. The fight when I fought in Sunderland, and was it that fight? And I watched the full fight. And I watched the ring entrance, and I watched the fight.
You watched it on the flight?
Watched it on the flight.
Right.
Because I saved my computer. And when I'm watching it, I got really upset. I've never watched one of my fights back, full fights back, since I retired from boxing, and I'm watching the fight, and I'm hearing the commentators saying, "Wow, he's 24 years old. He's got a huge career in front of him. He's killing it. You've never seen anything like this. The way he sold the tickets, because I sold a shit ton of tickets. This guy is exciting." And this is after the fight, and I just start crying, my eyes out. Like, I can't remember the last time I've cried like this. Do you know when you and you're shaking like that? And I cannot explain the emotion that I felt by watching this fight, and it was really
like good.
No, it wasn't good. It wasn't bad. I couldn't control it. It just came out, and after I put a lot of thought into it, and I really think the reason why I felt that is because I retired from boxing. And then I cut boxing out of my life. You know, I cut it out. I'm retired. I'm not doing the game. Good, it's gone. That's it. Move on with life.
So you never really dealt with it then?
I've never dealt with it.
You never like gone back to it and like assessed it and realised like
what a big deal it was, and how much of me, how big of a part of my life it really was.
Yeah.
And I've seen this, and I mean, it's a good job this big fella next to us is asleep, because I'm there shaking, like tears streaming down my face.
Yeah.
It was such a strange.
That's I'd see that as a positive experience, because now that you've done that, it's probably helped you deal with that quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a day watching the fight now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was like wow, it was a really interesting experience. Crying like that, crying. Yeah, he's 24, he's got some future on him. I'm thinking, I haven't got a future anymore. But you know, I have said before on previous podcasts, like, get retiring from boxing. Do
you know what? Right?
Was the best thing that ever happened to us.
I was just going to say,
best thing that ever happened to us.
I was just going to say, if you were still boxing, you wouldn't be living in a suite in the wind for 3 weeks, would you? Getting paid what you were getting paid.
Like Brian Rose was on the last podcast. Same age as me, we come up together. He's still fighting now. He's got his own gym now.
Yeah.
And
that's in the archives if anyone wants to listen to that. It's a good podcast.
87,
really good.
And yeah, I mean, he's still doing it. He's still putting his body through it. Where I'm not, you know.
How old is he now?
He's the same age as me. He's 34.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that I've retired from boxing now. You know.
So when you're looking at, like, because I think a lot of the people that came through that same era as you did, they're starting to retire now.
Yeah.
Like George Groves just retired, James DeGale just retired. We were talking to Brian Rose about like what he's going to do after he gets done. He's probably got maybe 2 or 3 left, depending on how it goes. Amir Khan's a little bit younger, right? But he's probably got like
Anthony Ogogo's just retired.
Anthony Ogogo,
It's mad for me to see all these people retiring. Because, like I said,
what is it like seeing that? Like, how do you feel for them? I mean, people like George Groves, James DeGale smashed it. You know, obviously made like a shitload of money, had amazing careers, like lived up to their potential. But do you like feel happy for them? Do you feel like, oh shit, like what do you feel like anxious for them? Like what they're gonna do now? Like how do you feel like when you look at them?
So I feel sorry for fighters, and because right now all I think about is the damage that boxing does to your brain. So when some fighters in there fighting, even though let's say they're getting paid millions, I'm like, oh, it's damaging your brain. You never, like them brain cells or whatever, you get knocked out, you never get them back.
How old are Groves and DeGale? Like 30?
Like 33, 34.
Yeah, so it's just not a bad time to get out.
Yeah, I mean, I was 27, so they've had an extra 6 or 7 years of punishment on the brain and on the bodies than I have, and they've had harder fights.
I saw you tweeted someone, I think it was James DeGale, you said like, oh, welcome to the other side. Yeah. That was good, that.
Yeah, welcome to the other side where you can relax.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about it 24/7.
Yeah.
So, so we talked about Brian Rose as well. That's episode 98 of the Boxing Life podcast. We'll talk a lot about retirement and when is the right time to retire, and you know, should you wait until you've passed it? I know James DeGale's now, he said like he's over the hill. He should have won that fight. He never won the fight. Now it's time to get out.
Yeah, I mean, like 3-4 years ago, he would have won that fight with his eyes shut. But it's just like your body starts feeling it, shutting it down. And it's not explosive. It's not fast. It's that wear and tear of years and years of doing it. It takes its toll, obviously. And it's kind of sad to see that, isn't it? It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
I watched that fight and I was just thinking, shit, man, what are you doing? Like it's just
DeGale's fight.
Yeah. And it's just like you can't. Body can't do what the brain wants it to do.
Yeah.
But it, like we always say, like it's the hardest job in the world, and like, you know, people forget that, you know, like yourself, they've been doing it since they were 10, 12, 13 years old, and then it's like you've not really had a normal childhood or a normal 20s.
Or normal life.
It's not a normal life where you've just, you know what I mean? You've had to sacrifice and discipline so much and diet all the time and travel so much, and then when you do get to the end destination, what's the end destination? Oh, it's to have a fight. It's not like the end destination is like an holiday. You know what I mean?
That's when I was fighting, I used to always book a holiday on my training camp. I'd always book a holiday for after as a pro, because it gives us something to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not just looking forward to getting the fight out of the way. I've got something else to preoccupy my mind. So I used to travel a lot with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, each to their own, and I'm really glad that I retired when I did.
I just want to paint that picture all the time as much as I can, because I'm just sick. If one thing pisses me off more than anything with social media and just the internet in general, it gives just idiots a voice who did previous to social media didn't have a voice, and one of the most common things I see is just muppets who just love to hammer boxers no matter what, and just try and destroy them and put them down and slag them off because they think it's cool or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have a clue. And I honestly don't think that they know like the sacrifice and the level and the talent involved, and they just don't. And it's like
Twitter is the worst for that. Twitter's the worst for that, and
so, I mean Instagram too. You just looking through the comments of when, you know, someone posts something. And you're like,
I always remember I got loads of shit, but I always remember one thing that someone said was, "Tony, you fucking prick, I hope your mum dies." I was like, wow, I hope your mum dies? How horrible is that? What sort of issues is that, lad? I don't know, you know.
If you want a really good episode on this stuff that goes into more, go through the archives and listen to the podcast with Paul Smith on it.
Oh yeah.
He goes into detail on how he dealt with the Twitter followers.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, I'd love to slap some of them, but you know, it does give them a voice, and it just makes me think, like, how bad must their life be to come on and give someone shit, you know?
Yeah.
People, they don't realise that people are real people. They just see them in the limelight. They think they're making loads of money. They think they're rich as shit, and they don't realise, like you see, the graft and that they're putting in to get there.
Yeah, big time. They don't realise the talent too. Like, you know, you see how much shit Amir Khan gets. It's like, oh, glass jaw, glass chin, he's crap, he's been knocked out. Oh, that'll be a good fight until he gets knocked out, and David Price gets it a shitload as well. And I'm like, fuck off. Like, you know, like, they're Olympians. He's won world titles. Like, you know, just have some respect and some appreciation for the talent involved. Like, if you don't like him as a person or whatever, that's fine. But, like, fucking hell, like, respect the fact that he's talented. You know? Right. Like, that does my head in. Every now and again, if I've got a bit of time on my hands, if I'm on a flight or a long Uber or something, and I just want to have a bit of fun, I'll just spend like 5-10 minutes just biting back on some comments. I got a DM the other day of someone on Instagram giving a shit. I mean, getting into me DMs. I got one as well. You see that one I got the other day as well? Oh yeah, but no, that wasn't shit. That was just. I got some what was it? Some kid telling me, like, how to be a better coach. That I need to learn how to teach the basics. Thanks, mate. What did they say? They just said, you're a fucking pussy or something. And I replied saying, thanks for following me, mate. I really appreciate your support. Yeah. I'm not following you. You're fucking wanker or something like that. Yeah. I was like, oh my god. You know, now I read all my DMs, and you know, like, I get back to everyone. Yeah. You know what I've been doing lately, and I think it's really good for business, and I've been doing voice notes, because now on Instagram you can voice note people back. Yeah. So someone's like, hey Tony, I love your content, you're really helping us. I get that quite a bit with all my boxing education stuff, and so I'll send them a voice note DM. Hey John, thanks for your message, mate, I really appreciate it, and I know that goes a long way. But then I get a voice note back off them. It's like, hey Tony, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you for your post on social media. They're really inspiring me. I really like the video when you do it, and I'm like, yeah, I've got to go. Yeah. Like, if you tip for anyone who's DMing someone on social media who they don't know, is keep it short and sweet. Because I like I say, I go through every single DM on me Instagram, and I get a shit ton now. Yeah. And I go through them all, and I try to respond to every single person. But when the DMs is like an essay long, I'm the same with text messages. I can't do it. I can't handle it. Just a text message, even from people I work and deal with. It's like, if you want me to do something and you want to get my attention and get a conversation going, it's like the whole point of a text message or a digital message is to just get the point across. Yeah, let's get shit going. So with me, don't write me a fucking book. With me text messages, what I do, I get Siri to read them out. So I name that. Yeah, you just listen to it. Yeah, I listen to it. But the thing that messes with that is when it's doing the emoji. Like, hey Tony, hope you're well. Smiley face with a winky. Smiley face with a wink. Smiley face with a wink. Smiley face with a wink. I'm like, oh man, just don't put emojis in. When the worst is when you send a closing text or a closing message, and like, right, that conversation's finished. Like, nice one, thanks, whatever it is to finish it off. Yeah. You put a line under it, and then they go and love it, or they like it. They like the text message, or they like the DM. So then you're going through your messages like, oh, I've got a text, oh, I've got a DM, and then it's like, no, it's where is it? Oh, someone just fucking, oh fuck. Don't waste time liking text messages, please. But I like a lot, well, DMs, I like a lot of DMs when people respond, because it's like faster than replying. Right. You know? One thing that I recently started doing, and you gave me this idea because you've done it a couple of times as well, was sending videos back to people. Yeah. I just recently launched an online program for coaches, people who are into boxing, whatever, just online combinations. Video, videos. Yeah, so let me tell you a little about this. So if you're a boxing trainer, want to be a boxing trainer, or even if you're a boxer and you want to get into boxing training, Glenn's put together this program that's over 200 minute work combinations. Really, really good. He spent a fortune on getting it all videoed,
hired a great team, and now it's online. Is it glenholmes.net you are?
Yeah, the link to buy the program is mitworkmasterclass.glenholmes.net.
Right, yeah, it's a lot, but you can send them a DM.
If you just go on my website, glenholmes.net, you'll see it.
Or on his Instagram, and and it's really, really good, and it's gone well.
Yeah, I just put together a huge library, so if you need some combinations to get fancier, build it up with your clients or learn yourself.
Mate, I really want to get it, but I'm not fucking paying, and he'll not give us it for free.
Nah, but yeah, so my point was that, like, since I launched that, I've had a few people buy it or ask me questions or give me feedback on it. So instead of sending a text message back or an email back, I'll just record a quick 10-15 second video being like, thanks so much, whatever it is, and then just send them video message back, and that's giving them so much value. They love that.
Right.
It's really good.
Yeah, it is giving value.
Yeah.
We spoke about this before in business. You know, you want to be given value, and that's how much that's why my Instagram blew up, and I'm selling a lot of shit now on Instagram. You see, so I've just released a boxing drills package, and that's done very well. You know, I released a How to Be a Better Boxer package in December, and I made some good money from it. And the first thing I bought, do you know what it was?
Go on.
I bought 4 air filters for my house because my daughter was getting she's got asthma and she's getting a bad chest. So I bought 4 air filters, air purifiers.
Yeah.
And I've got them all around my house now.
They were like the Dyson ones.
No, it's a different one. All it does is them, and they're like really high quality ones. So the people who bought me the program, thank you, because I'm not just.
You've got better air quality in your house.
Yeah, it's helping me kids, and so I'm not just spending it on shit like Glenn, like fancy clothes and that. I'm actually spending it on good stuff.
And what else do I spend money on?
On shit hotels, on high hotels.
Ubers.
Yeah, on Ubers, getting Ubers and that.
But yeah, so the newest program that you just released, so you did the Be a Better Boxer was in December.
Yeah.
And then the new one that you've just put out is the drills package, right? So it's more like drills to get better footwork, improve defence,
right?
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what? This stuff, it's pretty simple to do. If you've got a product out there that you want to put out, you can do it. You know, there's a website called Upwork where you hire freelancers. Glenn's got a woman from Pakistan, is it?
Yeah.
When I used that first, I've got another guy from Pakistan, and they charge less than someone in America or England. And and now I've put together this package, and it's just outsourcing everything. You know, you don't have to be an expert in web. You don't have to be an expert in sales. You don't have to be an expert in videography. You just need to be an expert in whatever you want to put out there, what product you want to sell, and you can sell it. And the good thing about these digital products that we're putting out, it's passive income.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting with my sister today having lunch, and $250 just popped up on my phone.
Yeah.
So it was like
sold 2 of them drills packages.
Yeah. So it was really good. Obviously it's great. But yeah, I mean, anyone can really do it. You don't have to be an expert. You need to find the experts.
Yeah.
I was watching a video on Instagram the other day that was talking about that. You don't have to be a great leader. You don't have to be a great expert in different fields. You just need to hire the people who are great, and then keep them people working together.
Yeah.
And that's how you succeed in business.
Yeah, definitely.
By having a great team. That's one thing I realised about working with Robbie Williams. His team is absolutely amazing. He's videographer, security, he's manager, he's band, he's drummer.
Same thing from the people I've seen that work with at that level too. Like, they've just got the best team around them. You know, like when I went out with Twin On Pilots in November, it was the same. Like, security guy was just next level, just like a hawk everywhere all the time, just on top of everything. Tour manager was just on top, like just machines. You know what I mean? And then the video guy just same stuff, just next level.
It's getting that good team around you, which we're realising right now with the Boxing Run Academy about getting the good team around you, around us, and we've just hired Dion.
It doesn't matter what level you're at either. If you because I always say it takes talent to find talent, right?
Yeah.
So like, you have to be talented in yourself to find a talented videographer. You have to know what it takes and what's required, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's half the battle. It's like, oh, do you do video? Yeah, so you just hire him, and then he just turns out to be shit. It's like, well, that's your fault, because you didn't take the time to find out how good that video guy was, or know what
Which
you
we've
needed.
made that mistake quite a few times by hiring people at the gym, and even a few weeks ago hiring bad people because the price is better. and that's something that I'm really learning now. Like, you do get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And I'm always one who tries to get the best deals on this and best deals on that. Not being tight, but I'm thinking
tight as cramp.
but why pay someone, let's say on Upwork, $15 an hour? $25 an hour when you can pay someone for $15 an hour.
Yeah.
You know. But then
be prepared to run into problems.
Yes.
And it take longer or take more of your time. Yeah.
So we've just hired someone new, Kira, onto our Boxing World Academy team, and she's given us a rate that she charges, and she says, I'm negotiable on my rate.
Yeah.
And I said, no, let's give her a rate.
Yeah.
You know, let's not negotiate. Let's get her happy.
Yeah.
You know, and where in the past I would have been like, let's offer her this.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then we've brought Dion on board, which is going to be a great addition to the team. And with the Boxing World Academy, our education program, I want to be able to earn enough money to be able to pay them and get them happy.
I think if you hire people that see the potential of a business or a company, no matter what you're in as well, and they don't want to go and work for a corporation and be in an office 9 to 5.
Right.
They want to be flexible with where they work, when they work, and they see the potential in a small company, startups, and especially in LA, there's like so many startups and like new creative businesses coming out all the time. And I think people that get in at that level, they're happy to take less because they're like, if I can put everything I've got into this company and this job role and do really well and prove to these people that I want this company to grow, because if I grow, if this company grows, I grow with it. You know what I mean? It's not just a dead-end job where it's same salary for the next 10 years and there's no growth potential. That's the benefit of working for startups and small companies.
But with that,
the better you do and the more you put in, that company's only going to grow from that, and it grows, you grow.
They've got to believe in the company and believe in the vision and get on board with that, because if you don't really believe in the brand, you're not really going to go forward.
Definitely,
you know,
and you're not going to give 100% to it. You're not going to give a shit.
So, I mean, our team. How do we get talking about this again? But our team's good now with the Boxing World Academy.
Yeah, I'm excited where it's going.
How do we get talking about that then?
Well, we talked about like us starting our online programs and hiring people on Upwork in other countries and all that kind of stuff.
Talking about the hiring process.
And it's like you said, no matter what your expertise or your skill is or your passion, you can create an online business, or you can create a business for that thing that you're passionate about. And it's 2019. There's nothing that you can't hire someone to do. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I want to do this but I can't because people don't do that. It's like there's someone somewhere out there to do anything that you need them to do.
Yeah, and big time. And it's total passive income. Now once we've got these programs, now all I've got to pay is and you've got to pay is the monthly fee of hosting the website. Because it's there. Yeah, it's there and it's solid. And now it's just on driving traffic to it. Traffic to it. You know.
One piece of advice I'd suggest here is, like, I feel like people make this mistake. They're like, oh, I've got like 5,000 followers on Instagram now, I can launch a brand, I can launch a company, I can launch like an online program or whatever, and they might know like 20 out of that 5,000 personally. And it's hard to get across like that feeling of like, right, I've actually got quite a few people now who are interested in what I have to offer and what I have to say. Right, I've got I think 21,000 on Instagram, and it's just about that stepping stone where I can finally feel like, right, there's enough people interested now from the feedback and interaction I'm getting that if I do put something out, there's a small amount of people that are interested who will probably get it or want more info on it. And that's took me a good 4 or 5 years to get to that point. And 21,000 might sound like a lot of people, but in terms of sales and it being a source for you to promote your business, like, it's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's definitely not. But the thing is, it depends on your audience. Like you've got people following you, not because you're posting pictures of your arse or selfies or your food. They're following you to learn.
Yeah.
You know, you're an education platform for them, a free education platform.
Right.
And you know, giving free stuff out, and that's why that's why I've grown.
Right, and I'm glad that I took that route with it, because that's what I'm passionate about. I love putting stuff out there, because I think it's hard to realise that how much stuff you've got up here, and then get it out. It's like I always had the mindset of like, oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah, I know how to do that. Whether it's boxing or fitness or whatever, and I'd be like, yeah, I know about that. Yeah, yeah. And then I just think like, and then it's only recently I've been like, oh, I could do a video